I'm a Francophile.
I am an actor.
I'm a runner.
I'm a history buff.
I am an entrepreneur.
And
I'm
I'm
a
a
poet. Hi, we're the 2013 class of National Student Poets.
You can read some of our work and more about the program at artandwriting.org/NSPP.
Or you can like the National Student Poet Facebook page.
We'd like to thank the President's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, and the Alliance for Young Artists and Writers.
Everyone should submit to this year's Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. And this is Poets in the Park.
Hi, I'm Sojourner, and this is When Ivorian Girls Are Most Hungry. I remember my arms entwined with Edwige and the man who broke the necks of chickens, little brown ones which were bred for our sauce arachide, bred for our stomachs that grumbled for the lack of rainy season. The marketplace was breathing, boys kicking dust in soccer balls, me too young to hear the crack of bone. Just the pounding of futu in the distance allured me in September when Ivorian girls are most hungry. I forgot to look and see its head drop and told myself the scent of blood was only the scrape on my knee from coconut tree climbing. But there are no long-legged country boys here to hoist me up onto brown bark, just a grandmother's magnolia, which was never meant for climbing. So I've grown accustomed to those sweat-stained, recollection-stained bed sheets, the sound of airplane wings, Mami Wata searching for a little girl. War is a man with big hands, the silence of a chicken.
Hi, I'm Michaela, and this is Medusa in the Mirror. My eyes are older every day, and I think it's because they can see the answer to the question my brain keeps asking, which is heart more like an odometer or a timer? Because sometimes I feel like it's just counting down the beats, and maybe I'm already in triple digits, and I just don't know it yet, because suicides are slow. And they seep through skin like dye, and sometimes they whisper in my dreams, and I can hear them coiling around my head, and they're fang deep in my skull because now my migraines pound out messages. Monster, monster, monster. And it feels like they're rooted in my scalp because they're persuasive in my misery, but present in my happiness too. And when they murmur in my ear, "You're the best you'll ever be," I'm afraid because it feels true. And maybe I'm anhedonic because I can't remember what childhood tastes like. And I'm starting to think that the only way to punctuate loneliness is in bullet points. Maybe there's a timer in the blackness of my eyes, and maybe you saw it first. Maybe that's why you left.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and this is Transference. In the moment when the tiny body of the squirrel is folded into itself, the 2-year symphony of its rhythms and pulses and tempos is silenced in mid-measure. I want you to consider the energy. Rays of sunlight caught in chains of cellulose, digested, woven into muscle strands, calcified in thin willowy bones in the orbit of the eye, all of it dissipated. Consider the tiny vibration you felt as you race onward, leaving a vague, longitudinal stain, the last filament of solar fire not yet removed from glassine eyes, whose silent judgment follows you past 3 exits in the horizon. Consider the energy. And when you've returned home, traverse your garden, cram an acorn into the soil to take root and spin anew, because you wish you could believe in reincarnation.
Hi, I'm Aline, and this is Programming Error. We pulled out our veins and laid them down on the operating table, watching them unfold like lengths of silver ribbon. The synthetic tissue was still entangled in my hands, bright as butterfly gossamer, insides detached from out, simple as snipping a thread. I couldn't disconnect my wiring, but I could see the cables laid bare, pulsing with color where they joined hips to spine. Once I had wondered if I still had a beating heart. Even underneath this metal shell, soft and fragile like an overripe strawberry. I can list every muscle in the human body, but I've never had warm blood, no map of red lines traced underneath paper-thin flesh. And I've never felt love either, but I can diagnose it. It's just a series of chemical synapses firing, skin flushing pink with hemoglobin that I don't have. They must have been lying when when they said we were perfect. How could something perfect feel so empty? Of course, they'll be angry when they find us here with these blasphemous thoughts in our memory banks. They'll dismantle our limbs and say it was a manufacturing defect, sew us back up again so we forget. I'm not sure how many times they've done it. We'll be beautifully uniform, all our parts in working order, but defective in a different sort of way.
Hey, I'm Louis LaFair, and this is Rethink Language. Part 1, text message to my girlfriend. Okay. Part 2, conversation with my grandma. Don't talk about the death of language. I, you, we will die, but language does not die. No one can crush that first palm riding the air and a 5-fingered salute greeting farewell, because even curled into a fist, that palm feels with the thread of human tongue. Latin, the gasping language, is not dead, but breathing, with imperceptible vitality. Salve, it says, not wale, as the valedictorian speaks on. Hardly antiqua, as antiquity lingers, rather ingrained, the roots of a tree, as its branches palm sky, reaching towards a never-ending end. Constant change cometh, constant change comes. Language stays her, an archaic expression of here, passing at times through awkward periods, like the stretched amalgamations lapsing from youth to adulthood. Hair sprouting, lips twitching, eyes blushing. So you see, Grandma, that text message I sent to my girlfriend, that was a rustled leaf, an extended limb, a baby's, girl's, woman's, mother's, grandmother's song. Not the death of language, which cannot die. Don't you feel it? The feigned disinterest, concealed excitement, unspoken words. Language, breathing, thinking, asking, living on its own in that hard-backed, four-pronged letter K. Don't you understand? Standing underneath a history, a story, where words fold into words, briefly, perhaps momentarily, that swift K surfaces, the result of a gradual, momentous shift in tide, riding from text message to text message, from wave to wave, from soul to soul. Those small, those seemingly meaningless, that alphabetized, unformalized grain is part of the story of the shifting sands of language, and composes an entire poem. Okay?